Do you ever feel like you have to take a college level accounting course just to understand what your credit report says? If you stay tuned, I'll give you a dynamic breakdown of exactly what your credit score composition is, as well as what exactly is in your credit report in the next episode of Erin in Real Life. I want to jump right on into today's topic on our first episode of Unbreak My Pockets. And again, what that is going to be is talking about what exactly the creditors are looking at when they want to determine your credit worthiness. So now that you've gotten your credit report and you know what's in there, you have your roadmap to understanding exactly what it is that you've done in the past and where you need to make the corrections, right? So everybody wants a credit score of 800. Everybody wants an 800 credit score. They do. But you might be at like 500 and something right now just because of the sheer nature of life itself, right? This is what we're talking about. We're talking about real life. We're going to talk about ways to get that credit score up. Now, what I do want you to understand that this video is not intended to get you your credit score increased overnight. It didn't take you a day to get your credit score at the place that it is right now. So it may take a little while with a little persistence and commitment to the process to correct your credit score, but you can do it, and you can do it free of charge. I'm excited because I know that it can happen because I've done it myself. So I'm just excited that I can help you be able to fix the areas that you're having struggles and problems with. Okay, so let's jump right on in. So you have your credit report, and you've seen what's in there, and you know where you have issues and where you are doing pretty good, okay? Because credit report doesn't only show you bad stuff, it shows you good stuff too. So I want to explain to you exactly what it is that they see and what they use to determine whether you're worthy for credit with their company, okay? So the first point is making sure that all the information in your credit report is accurate. And it makes sense, and it accurately reflects what's going on in your account, okay? The second point is, if you have debt and you have bills that you have not paid, pay them. If the account is closed and it's just a debt that you owe and they're just constantly reporting that you have not paid them, reach out to them anyway and try to make payment arrangements. Initiating a new payment pattern with that company shows creditors that you're committed to correcting negative payment behavior. Each one that you pay off closes that account, and it helps your credit score ultimately in the end. The third tip is knowing what your credit utilization is. If you have revolving credit, like a credit card or a store credit account, anything above 30% utilization of those accounts causes a negative impact on your credit score. And what that means is making sure that you only spend 30% of your credit limit. That will help your credit score in the long run. It will keep your credit score high, and it'll keep your utilization down low. The lower your utilization, the higher your credit score. The fourth tip we wanted to talk about is how you pay your current bills. If your current bills are being paid late, that will negatively impact your credit score tremendously, because payment history is 35% of your overall credit score. So let's get those current bills paid on time, and let's get that credit score up. The fifth tip that I wanted to talk to you about was applying for credit when you don't necessarily need it. Just understand that inquiries also negatively impact your credit score. For each inquiry, that hit against your credit stays on your credit report and your credit file for 2 or more years. If you can sleep on it for 2 days to think about it, then when you come back, you'll probably forget about what it was you were applying for in the first place. But if you do absolutely need that item, then my suggestion is to make sure you do your research to find the best option for obtaining that level of credit. All these tips are critical and important on creating and developing better credit payment behaviors. And this is the thing that creditors look at when they're trying to determine whether you're worthy of the credit that you're applying for.
So just to sum up, we discussed 5 critical areas. The first area was making sure that your credit report is accurate and correct. If you see something on your credit report that doesn't look correct, reach out to the creditors to see if they will correct it for you. If the creditors don't want to do it and they refuse, then you have options with the credit bureau to dispute those transactions, and making sure that you're going to those websites to determine what those processes and procedures are to dispute those transactions. The second tip was paying all outstanding debt. If you have bills that you have not paid but you created that debt, the more accounts that you close on your own, the better your credit report and your credit score will be. The third tip was making sure your credit utilization percentage was at a 30% level. 30% is the threshold that creditors look at to make sure that you aren't overextended and that you aren't using your credit cards to supplement your income. The fourth tip that I gave you, which is the most important tip, if you have current bills, pay your bills on time. Your payment history is 35% of your overall credit score, and the best practice is to pay your bills on time. The fifth and final tip that we talked about was not applying for credit that you don't need, and wait until a later time when your credit score has been repaired and restored. The more applications you place against your credit report, the lower your credit score is, and the more negatively you are reviewed by other creditors.
So I hope that this information was helpful for you, and just make sure that you subscribe so that you can get all the notifications, and click that bell so that you can get all the notifications of all of the videos that I'll be uploading soon.